Well, folks, what's going on? Interesting developments last night. The Soros 9 News Network teaming up with the Red Cross to raise about $25 million. $25 million in a night as part of the Red Cross flood appeal. And I wonder how much of that money is actually going to reach the people of the Northern Rivers. This is from, I can't even believe this is going on. It wasn't long ago that Nine News themselves ran the story on Red Cross receiving $90 million for the flood relief and around 30 million of it actually going out to people. Allegedly 30 million went out. The other 60 million, stockpiling donations. This is the same Red Cross that had 23 allegations of sexual misconduct within their administrative boards and people actually going out in the field as well. Just charming. This is the same Red Cross that took untold millions for Haiti after the earthquake and built just 6 homes, 6 little tin shacks for a couple of families in Haiti for a bit of a marketing opportunity. And the same stupid Aussies who gave to them for the fires have probably just dug deep into their own pockets thinking, I'm helping. You're not helping. You're helping, and I'm sorry folks, there's a lot of evidence that suggests that Red Cross is a very nefarious organisation. Maybe there's a few good people in there who do a few good things, but for the most part, there's been sexual misconduct out in the field, stealing, pilfering and money laundering, and a lot of other, a lot of other activities that involve the moving around of different people to different locations. And here's Channel 9 promoting the Red Cross once again. Are any of these organisations going to show any transparency? Is any of this money, will 1 cent reach the people who need it right now in the Northern Rivers? This is what needs to happen. There needs to be total transparency on that money. First of all, who's overseeing it? Do we know any of these people? But no, Aussies will just see Channel 9 come on and say, oh, they're the people from the TV, send them money. Do you know where any of this money will go? No, you don't. The same thinking that gets people to blindly line up for 2 or 3 doses of an unknown potion is the same thinking that makes them dig into their pocket and give their money to an unknown organisation where they have no idea of knowing what that money's actually going to do, if it's actually going to help someone. It just blows my mind. Here's what needs to happen with that money. Someone needs to buy a big chunk of land up there in the Alstonville area, somewhere around there that has some elevation, right? Get a big chunk of land and put 1,000 tiny homes on there. There's heaps of land up there, folks. Get the land for a couple of million, put a couple of 1,000 tiny homes on there and make a really nice eco-village that you could have its own crops, its own water tanks on each tiny home, its own little community there for all these people who are never going to be able to go back to their little parts of the world. I went to Cabbage Tree Island out there yesterday, the indigenous community. That place is a freaking write-off. It's a swamp, folks. The river level's so high that you can't go and build there again because it's just a mud pit prone to flooding. A lot of these zones, they're complete write-offs, but you've got to understand the people are staying there because they've got nowhere else to go. Same as in Lismore. They don't want to stay. They know the place is prone to flooding in many spots. They don't want to stay, but because the companies pushed up the insurance premium so high, none of them are insured. So all they literally have is their home that they've got to scrub out, that's been soaking now for 2 weeks in the sun, that's filthy in the humidity in the sun with the piles of rubbish out there. 2 weeks now, folks. So they've got nowhere else to go. So how about with the 25 million you got last night, you spend 1 or 2 million on a big chunk of land, get a whole bunch of tiny homes, expedite the process through the council and create a nice big sustainable, this can be done fast. If they pulled their finger out, they could turn this around in 90 days. I'm not even kidding, folks. Clear the land, put the roads through, bring in the tiny homes, boom. You got decent accommodation and you've got a community, and you start supporting that community with ongoing charitable help where they can get some decent food, they can get some counselling, they can get some actual stability back in their lives, and within that community create some jobs and sustain themselves and become to some degree self-sufficient. But no, they don't want that. We know that's not part of the Agenda 2030 plan. When they say we're going to eradicate poverty, eradicate the vulnerable in society, they mean eradicate, folks. They mean wipe them out, wipe them off the face of the earth, take the land grab, rezone the area, and grow their fucking bug crops or whatever is next as part of the sustainable development New World Order bullshit. Watching Channel 9 convince people to hand their money to the Red Cross is just more insult to injury, folks. This is the same network that would never dare touch the cloud seeding over the region, the weaponization of the weather. All the locals know it now. I speak to everyone. Everyone knows about the cloud seeding, folks. How about some of the money goes into a full investigation, an ICAC investigation into what the hell is going on, who's signing off on the cloud seeding to flood out this region and rezone it for their alternative agenda. I wonder if they will do that, but no. They're going to take the money, the Red Cross are going to line their pockets, they're going to participate in whatever other nefarious activities they participate in, and the Northern Rivers won't see a cent. And the likes of Scotty Cam and Grant Denyer and Benny Fordham, who decided to have a pash and hump each other on the floor for 50 grand. Well, folks, we want to know where that money's going. And we know they won't show that. They've done it time and time and time again. This is why, folks, we have a community here, AussieHelpingHands.com.au, AussieHelpingHands.com.au, that is on the ground finding the people who need the money and the resources and the tools and the equipment and the cash to actually make a difference and get it to them. Our website, when it's finished, and guys, please, this has been a matter of days. This thing was thrown together because we know we can't trust any of these organizations. So please be patient with us with the website. But you can see the running balance there right now. I believe it's over $200,000. $200,000 that's actually going to all go to the families in the form of cash, resources, accommodation, what they need, without the bureaucracy, without the red tape, and with full transparency. You will be able to see live the transactions in the account, the spreadsheets weekly, and we are putting together an administrative board of the likes of myself, people like Graham Hood if he accepts our offer, people like John Larder, people like Adam Nicholas, people who have been on the ground here, so we can keep each other accountable with Dottie Jansen and Hayley Eads, so we can keep an eye on every single cent as a group and make sure no one starts lining their pockets. Because, guys, that's $200,000.